aimed at avoiding a government shutdown later this week could get a House vote as soon as today, less than 24 hours after lawmakers got the text, which isn't sitting well with some Republicans. Texas Congressman Chip Roy also says it's too much spending with late add-ons.
What we ought to do is just do a simple CR with a very simple small amount of disaster supplemental for the people in tents in North Carolina, and that's it. That's what we were talking about doing. But what this has now become is a Christmas tree bill.
Elon Musk also opposes the current bill as he and Vivek Ramaswamy lead a new effort to cut spending. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he was texting with them last night, telling reporters,
remember, guys, we still have just a razor-thin margin of Republicans, so any bill has to have Democrat votes. They understand the situation. They said, it's not directed to you, Mr. Speaker, but we don't like the spending. I said, guess what, fellas? I don't either.
But Johnson argues that focusing on the Trump agenda will come with the new Congress in the new year. The Senate's voting on a nearly $900 billion defense authorization bill right now. It does have enough votes to pass and already passed the House. The U.S. has its first severe human case of bird flu, a patient hospitalized in Louisiana. And the CDC says the way they contracted the virus was also a first in a backyard flock.
There have been 61 reported human cases nationwide. Since 2022, the virus has been spreading in poultry, and this year it was found in dairy cows and pigs. Human cases, mostly among farm workers, have been reported in 7 states. No person-to-person spread of bird flu has been detected. The CDC maintains that the immediate risk to public health remains low.
Fox's Matt Murphy. The U.S. Supreme Court agrees to hear TikTok's emergency appeal over a new law that forces the social media platform to split from its Chinese parent company or face a U.S. ban. Those arguments set for next month. America is listening to Fox News.
Quiet down. Here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AB.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Fair amount of sunshine, breezy from the northwest, so we are definitely cooler today. A little chill in the air, 45 degrees this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy and cold. Winds go calm, 26 for the low. Thursday, sunny and chilly, 47. Just not much going on in our atmosphere for several days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, partly sunny. High temperatures in the mid-30s. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning diamond pendant, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. Or maybe you're looking for that perfect gemstone piece or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have hundreds of styles that are ready to be wrapped and put under the tree. No need to wait for shipping. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas before you head to the store, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Greg Hammonds at GregHammonds.com wants to remind you that if you pay for your own health insurance, open enrollment ends January 15th. If you are looking for coverage, do not go online looking for quotes. You'll get endless calls from call centers, and they will not stop. Instead, call Greg, an expert with over 40 years experience, and he can provide sound advice for your health insurance needs. Their plans, if you qualify, let you pick your doctors, And it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. The monthly premiums are independent of your income, so there will be no surprise tax bills. If you pay for your own health insurance, own a small business, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. They will custom design a plan managed by you, not the government.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Steel holiday savings are here. Make room under the tree for gifts at the top of their wish list. Power up the holidays with great deals on long-lasting tools. Find the perfect gift at your local Steel dealer or shop the Steel Holiday Gift Guide at steelusa.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Personally, I think she should run for president again if she believes she has the energy to do it.
Do you think she could win the nomination?
I do.
If Kamala Harris has the energy if Kamala Harris believes that she has the energy to run for president, she believed that Joe Biden had the energy to keep running for president.
Well, maybe she's running mate for Biden again in 2028.
Maybe it's Harris Biden.
Yeah, now that's a ticket.
As predictable as Biden-Harris was at one time, honestly. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Annie Fry Show. 1 week from Christmas today. Are you in the Christmas spirit fully yet? Have you arrived?
It's weird because it's all come later this year, but I think I'm there.
The problem is that the Christmas spirit also coincides with me not wanting to do anything that involves responsibilities.
I know, and I feel like today is the last day for that. Tomorrow we're really going to coast.
I keep waiting. I quit thinking too hard after Annie, Are You Okay on Thursday?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday is when we hit it.
And every day I realize it's Thursday, I think, ooh, I just need it to be 2:25, and then I'm done for the week.
Exactly.
That's probably not the best attitude because there's still work day left.
I'll tell you what, though. Last night, Annie, I had a friend come over from church. We just had some stuff that we needed to catch up on. And we had a fire going. We had the tree all lit up. We've got some presents around the tree now. The living room was clean. It was beautiful.
How long did that last?
About an hour.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I was in the Christmas spirit.
Did the fire go on?
Yeah.
Did you cut that tree down with your own bare hands?
No, it was a burner log.
It's a burner log. We've got in the 1 o'clock hour today, Deroy Murdock. He's going to talk to us about just the slow death of DEI. And this is kind of what I was talking about yesterday. We were talking about things we wanted to see go by the wayside in 2025. Cancel culture is at the top of my list. I really want to get back to the time where when something offended you, you had the right to be offended, and everybody else has the right to not care. No obligation whatsoever to join in the outrage. If you're tired that day and you don't want to get all worked up and offended by something, you just don't. That sounds lovely.
I'm not going to say that Trump's election had nothing to do with that as just a barometer of the culture. But to me, the culture has been shifting away from the cancel crap for quite a while now.
Well,
we're not there yet.
I think Donald Trump he was the ultimate attempt in canceling. They did everything to Donald Trump that they possibly could to try to make it so that he was no longer allowed to be relevant, and they lost so big. We will tell our children's children about Donald Trump.
Yeah, he's that consequential.
How would he tell his story?
How would Donald Trump tell his own story?
Yeah. He should be. Does he have time to be working on a memoir right now?
I don't think so.
No,
but I think
should.
once he does, he would start it much like the Apostle Paul. I once knew a man who ascended to the third heaven.
What? You think that he would end up telling his story biblically?
I think he would tell it third person, like about himself. He would be talking not in first.
Well, I mean, to the winner goes the spoils. The winner gets to tell the history of what happened, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, the story's not done yet. He won, and winning in and of itself is a victory, but he's still got to do something. If he gets walloped in the midterms and then can't do anything other than executive orders that can be unexecutive ordered come the next 2028 election, then what?
Yeah. If you break Donald Trump's story into like movie parts, typically a movie has 3 acts, sometimes 5, but most of the time 3. We're just entering the third act now because you had this first term, you had the whole Biden term would be the middle part, and then this is where the story really comes to a head.
Mm-hmm. And he gets to really participate in the finish him of the comeback, where he gets to come back in 2025, immediately affect a massive amount of change. And then I think right now more people are open to it than they've ever been before. His approval rating is above water, like for the first time
highest
ever.
It's ever been.
Yes. And Joe Biden's continues to tank. I think the Republicans have a huge responsibility ahead of them. I felt this really strongly when Donald Trump won in 2016. I felt this like, oh, crap. I hope we can do that stuff that we said. I hope people agree with it, because if Donald Trump looks like he came in like a thief in the night and beat Hillary Clinton and nobody expected that to happen, and then it's a miserable failure, Republicans are never going to win again, which is ironically what Joe Biden did in the converse.
This feels completely different from 2016. I think the whole presidency will, because the whole 2016 through 2020, Democrats felt like, you guys snuck this one through.
Yeah.
We'll show you what you were really voting for. But this time everybody knew,
Yep.
and they know that.
As the Republicans are defining themselves, you hear even people like Mitt Romney and Van Jones across the aisle. Bill Maher will say it too, that like the Republican Party is Donald Trump's party. It's the MAGA party. There has to be something beyond Donald Trump. And we have to be kind of working on that right now, which is, what kind of scoreboard results do we put up after Donald Trump starts to do his thing? Lingering out there, and I don't want it to be like a huge story that takes up a ton of headlines. It's reflected in our YouTube live chat poll for today is, what will come of the Gaetz ethics report that is going to be released this week? This was news that was released this morning, and I think that I mean, it caught me off guard. Had a meeting this morning at 8:30 and sitting there watching the news come through and just kind of having a regular morning. And then all of a sudden, here you go. Here's a story about Matt Gaetz, and they're saying that is going to be released this week, I believe. They want to wait until all votes are done being taken. Fox News was reporting on it. The story came out at 9:12 this morning. The House Ethics Committee has decided to release its report on former Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida. Lawmakers on the secretive panel voted to make the report public after the final votes of this year, which are slated for Thursday. The House Ethics Committee's multi-year investigation into Gaetz involving allegations of sex with a minor and illicit drug use came to an abrupt halt last month after he resigned from Congress, hours after President-elect Trump tapped him to be his attorney general. Gaetz dropped out of consideration amid quiet but steady GOP opposition, but the committee nevertheless lost jurisdiction over the probe when Gaetz left the House of Representatives. Gaetz has consistently denied any accusations of wrongdoing, and an earlier federal investigation into the allegations ended without charges against him. So here's the question for you. Do you anticipate that this report is going to be a bombshell, or is it going to be a Nothingburger? If there is a shred of anything ugly in this report, it's going to feed the Trump-hating media for quite some time. And it's going to be used to paint a broader picture than just Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, if there's anything, because even when the Robert Mueller investigation came to a head, he came out and said no collusion, no corruption, and everybody's like, well, let me rephrase that for you, though. So that will happen here, even if it's just little things. But my prediction here is that there will be something, and I'm going to guess so far as it actually wipes out his political career. I'm going to say it's a bombshell.
Do you think it's a bombshell? I mean, I don't know how his time in Congress, when you're somebody who is as bold as Matt Gaetz is, as bombastic as Matt Gaetz is, it depends on who you are and how much you like him, confidently or arrogantly hijacked the House of Representatives to get Kevin McCarthy out of the speakership, predominantly because McCarthy wouldn't stop this ethics report from going through. I don't love that. That seemed very personal and self-serving. To me, if the ethics report was not to be feared, then he is like, release it. I'm not giving up my career for something that is a nothing burger. But the question I have in my mind is like, comparative to the many sins of those people in Washington, D.C., as if their pile of sins has any sort of salvation consequence greater than my pile of sins, which are many. But it's just a dirty place. Why are there secrets that are behind the closets, the closet doors of a lot of these people in Congress? But Matt Gaetz just pushed the wrong button that was a completely non-related thing, and they decided to use the powers at their fingertips to go after him. I don't like those methods, but I still might not like the results of what's in the ethics report. It's just like, don't ever wrestle with a pig because you both get dirty and the pig likes it.
And he does. He wrestles things up. And that may be why people are willing to turn on him and dig up dirt on him. But again, if it's real dirt, then it's real dirt, you know?
Do you think it's gonna be a bombshell or Nothingburger?
I think the report's going to be a nothing burger, but I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to turn it into a bombshell because it's Matt Gaetz and it's a chance to smear the Republicans. And so that's what they'll do. They'll find whatever and be like, hey.
So you think Matt Gaetz is clean?
No. I don't think he's clean.
He's a politician still.
Yes.
Well, and I think we know people who are politicians who are very good people. They're
yes,
not,
we do.
To suggest that they would be in this, I don't like the, this is always my thing. And you guys are a little bit on the side here. Like, people are like, all politicians are trashy people. And I'm like, how many? There's 538 people in Congress. How many can you name?
Yeah.
And you're lucky to name 10.
I just think Washington is a really crappy place, and it corrupts people. So there are good people, but the percentage of people who get corrupted is to me, probably higher there.
So you would say...
I think it's not going to be as bad as everybody wants it to be. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say here? When I say what everybody wants it to be. Everybody is playing this up. And when it comes out, there's going to be unsavory stuff in there. But I don't think it's going to rise to the level that everybody has been playing it up to be.
I don't think I want it to be bad, though. It would be the funniest thing in the world if he was squeaky clean.
Yeah, if it said, yeah, he was all right. That's the whole report.
And that's, I mean, the allegations that are out there have tainted my eyebrow raised towards him. I have the open mind that he is maybe being attacked. It's one of those things, like the context of his own actions and his smugness, which I think if I said that to him, I don't know that he'd be offended by that. He has that.
He'd probably put that clip online.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't. He doesn't walk himself around like he is pristine Pollyanna. But I don't want it to be a bad report. I want it to be the squeakiest clean report that you could. That would be so funny, because all of the leftist late crazies that are just looking for something to cling to in the media, who would be waiting to get that thing. You remember when Rachel Maddow was like on some nighttime show and she's like, I have Trump's tax returns.
Yes.
And then it was like,
yeah, it was like one page from 2005.
Yeah.
They built that up big.
Yeah, it was stupid. It was really stupid. And the reason why it was so hilarious is because you could tell how aroused they were at the idea.
Nice choice of words.
I'm not wrong.
Look what we got. It's coming Friday.
Yeah, you need some privacy? Is that what
When you say aroused, that's what I think of.
that?
Yeah, that.
We should take a break.
Yeah, we should.
We want to know from you what will come of the Gaetz ethics report release this week. The House Ethics Committee, which is like a super top secret committee, super tight-lipped about everything. They have voted to release the ethics report, which just seems quite kind of odd. Right before Christmas, it'll get put out, it'll get buried. That's one of the things that makes me think it's also a bombshell, is that the Republicans, who would have the majority, I would assume, on that committee, unless it's completely bipartisan, all the Democrats would be like, yeah, you better release that thing. If you have Republicans that are voting to release this and they're saying, let's get it out there right before Santa Claus comes, you're just kind of trying to bury it then. Let us know if you think it's going to be a bombshell or a Nothingburger on the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll. Take a quick break here. We'll get to some of the other news of the day. Let's talk about that border wall auction that's going on right now and whether or not Donald Trump is going to be able to push back successfully in stopping Joe Biden. Joe Biden is just angry and trolling everybody. And I still don't even know if he's the one who's calling the shots in this regard. Either that or, what is it, hell hath no scorn? Yes. No, hell hath no scorn?
Fury.
Fury like this.
Like a woman scorn.
Like a woman scorn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is Jill. Let's talk about it when we come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Just for me.
Cassens & Sons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. You are looking for a vehicle, and I have the place for you to look for it. Go to cassenscan.com. That's the website. Go to cassenscan.com, and then make sure that you are put in a position where you can have the best conversation that features your needs, your purpose, what you are looking to find for yourself, for your loved one. When you go and talk to the people at Cassens, you are going to find people who are very respectful, who are not trying to earn this current sale, but all of the sales in the future that you might want to have when you're looking to buy a car. Right now, they have a lease offer on 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab. They have an MSRP of $69,565, but no money down, $675 per month, 42 months, 7,500 miles per year. You can lease a brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab for $675 a month, which is an incredible value. Reach out to them directly at 618-800-2712, 618-800-2712, 618-800-2712, cassenscan.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, Thomas Helbig here with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we'd like to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We grew up right here in St. Louis, part of a large family, and that's what makes the holidays so special. The things we hold in our hearts, not in our hands. It's the people, family, friends, and the personal relationships that grow stronger with the passing of time.
In the past 38 years, we have become part of many lasting relationships, and we have made a lot of friends in and around St. Louis, and that just can't be taken away. So as we turn the page and put yet another year in the books, let's remember to be good to one another. And for those of you who may have lost loved ones, our hearts go out to you. Here's hoping next year will bring even more joy and blessings to all of you. And remember the important things to be thankful for. So once again, from all of us at the Retirement Advisory Group, and from our family to your family, we'd like to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsLHonorFlight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com. It's Annie Fry, and a very Merry Christmas to you and to yours. As we celebrate the birth of Christ in my family, I hope that you experience the love and the light that He has shared with all of us, surrounded by those that you love. Merry Christmas. Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We appreciate you being with us on a Wednesday afternoon, 1 week from Christmas, and we are very excited about it. I have some last minute things that I need to get done that just became a lot more complicated last night. I have set up in my home the ability to make T-shirts, to make like vinyl things that you could put on your. I haven't put anything on my car, but like labels and stuff. And I'm working on getting stuff done for people, and my heat press went kaput last night, and I am not happy about it.
Did it fizz up and like?
I was pressing a shirt for one of my daughter's friends, classmates, teammates, and it burned the shirt, and then it aired out, and now it just goes on and it just beeps.
I can't tell you why I'm disappointed about that, but it involves Christmas gifts for my family.
No, it doesn't.
Well, now it doesn't.
I have a friend who.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about this because this is as frustrating as government gets. But then again, why would you be surprised by the current administration's actions on the auction
of the border wall? It amazes the American people how out of touch the Biden-Harris administration is. They didn't listen to the results of November the 5th at all. This is just a slap in the face of the American taxpayer, selling off the border at 5 cents on the dollar. It's a disgrace. It's just another disgraceful capstone to the Biden-Harris administration, which I think, Stuart, will go down as the worst presidency in modern American history.
When you find out that Joe Biden is selling off this stuff, Trump said in his press conference earlier this week that they're already calling him and offering to sell it back to him, but like dramatically more expensive.
Oh my gosh. That's so ridiculous. That's the kind of stuff that really makes me mad. Because who are you getting back? If you're the Biden administration, and I'm putting Joe Biden aside, I don't think he knows what's going on. But somebody in the Biden administration has decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to sabotage this thing. But they didn't step back and ask themselves, who are we sabotaging? They're not sabotaging Trump. He's still going to do it.
Well, it makes me feel like if Joe Biden is doing this to sabotage something, that A, he never cared about the American people in the first place, and he's not trying to screw the American people now either. Because he doesn't care about the political fallout of doing something so dumb.
Yes. Oh gosh. This one really makes me mad. It seems like it makes a lot of people mad, so I'm glad it's getting attention.
I was thinking about buying some, selling it back for a little profit.
Well, I'm not opposed to a little capitalism.
Help me buy a new heat press. Listen, I was on hard times. I was in a time crunch. I know that Donald Trump is trying to sue to keep them from doing that. People are saying that it has to do with defense spending because, I mean, good grief, obviously it's defense spending. Obviously there's an understanding here that what we're trying to do with the southern border is, which is why I don't understand why they haven't been able to take more action towards the administration right now, because they are abdicating their responsibility to protect the United States of America. And I guess if you don't have the fortitude in the House and the Senate to press that issue, then it doesn't really much matter. But simply putting up the wall and at least curtailing the people who are coming here, funneling them to one place, making it more difficult to go through the process because there is a process. The reason people
The reason people hate the border wall is because Trump said it in the first place. That's the reason.
It. Yeah, that is it.
And now there are people who are like, Trump's not so bad. So maybe now the border wall isn't so bad. Maybe so much so that Kamala Harris was talking in her campaign about putting up the border wall. I mean, imagine that. Imagine Kamala Harris wins the election and border wall is sitting there and she's talking about finishing some of the border wall. And then Joe Biden goes and sells it off before Kamala takes office. Tell me this isn't 100% political.
Oh, it's obviously 100% political. It's just that the people that they're sabotaging on their way out the door are not even their political opponents. They're not stopping Trump from doing this. They're just costing everybody. They're costing taxpayers, whether they be Republican taxpayers or Democrat taxpayers. They're just costing them more money because we know the end game here. We know the outcome. It's amazing to look back at the campaign of Kamala Harris / Joe Biden and how in the last roughly 12 months they shifted their messaging on the border because they knew this is a losing issue. Ultimately, it was a losing issue for them. But we fail. It's so quick that we listen to somebody and go, oh, maybe they've changed their tune. Maybe they actually would build the border wall. This was the administration that was suing people for following the law. They were suing Texas, for instance, for trying to curtail illegal immigration. They were suing Arizona to try to stop them from doing what the federal government was supposed to be doing.
What do you want to see? Like, let's completely handshake agree. Obviously, I don't even think we need to have much of a discussion about this. Let's completely agree right now that we need to seal the border.
Okay.
Done? Setting that aside. Let's talk about immigration.
Okay.
Steve Moore was on the show with us on Monday, and I asked him this question because we're talking about the economy, and we're talking about all of these different ways that we're going to see Donald Trump re-stimulate the economy through energy production and so on and so forth. But I asked him, when you deport people, there are a lot of people on the left. It is really crazily bizarre to me to listen to a lot of these pundits. Marie Harf was one of them, and oh gosh, she's a lefty and she's on Fox News and she's doing her job. So if she's getting under my skin, she's doing her job. Her whole point on deportations was that, well, just so you know, a lot of those goods and services you like to use are going to cost a lot more now. And I'm like, is that their use to you? You want them here because you want to make some sort of humanitarian argument about why they need to be here, but you're like, but really when it comes down to, you're going to have to pay more for your produce.
It's amazing. That's not even their argument. That's their argument now. Because they weren't like, you know what we need to do? Really stop enforcing immigration law because we want to lower prices. They never, ever said that. If they would have, that would have been an argument for it, which would be a stupid one. But they never even were making that argument.
And then you listen to, like, Anna Navarro be like, who's going to watch your kids when you deport all these people? And I'm like, maybe me or my very Midwestern nanny of sorts who lives out by Midway in Illinois. And haven't checked her papers. Pretty sure she's legal.
If only,
I think we'll be fine.
If only there were people who were citizens of the United States that could run daycares. I wish we could see that day.
Also, is the reason why goods are cheaper and services are cheaper is because some of these industries are using labor off the books. And if they're using labor off the books, then they're not adhering to all of the different sorts of requirements that, American humans get. So if you're not an American human, then we just treat you less because it makes our produce cheaper.
Yeah, if it's off the books too, your tax base is going to go up when you deport everybody because there's going to be more people paying taxes.
Nobody's going to do these jobs. Well, what if you paid those people that living wage that you're always barking about? Then maybe people would do these jobs. And if you had to pay into the system the way that you want American citizens to pay into the system, like I was just listening to Fox a little bit earlier today, and they were talking about how the Roosevelt Hotel in New York City is just full of immigrants. And there are, in their words on Fox News this morning, there are tons of unsupervised children living in that hotel. If that is true, how how can we live with ourselves knowing that we are putting all of these kids up in a hotel? For what end? Like at what point does this cycle end? It doesn't. And we are just perpetually going to be in the cycle of bringing people here. Like what kind of conditions are these people coming into that's going to make them love the people who brought them here and shoved them into a hotel so much? They're like, we should vote for more of that.
Yeah, the border issues and illegal immigration issues of the last 4 years have really destroyed any shred of the bleeding heart liberal of the past. Because I used to actually have some respect for the real traditional, like, oh, you just ooze with compassion kind of liberal. I used to think that their policy positions were bad, but I saw where they were coming from on a lot of it. But to reconcile that with the way the border and illegal immigration has been run for the last 4 years, you can't. You've become so partisan or so full of Trump derangement syndrome that even those people who had that genuine bit of like the traditional liberal, you lost me in the last 4 years.
Are you sure that they're not doing it out of compassion? Like you said, you lost them, but you can't look at this and say that maybe they think what they're doing is best, but they're not looking at the whole picture. They're saying, well, what we're doing is we're taking these people out of this horrible, terrible situation. Because whenever you listen to the argument is, well, they're all asylum seekers and they're looking for asylum. So to the average person, asylum means that they're running from some sort of horrible situation. So they hear that and they say, well, if we let them into our country, they won't need to seek asylum from. Therefore, it'll be better for them here. So there's your bleeding heart liberal thing where you're talking about they're doing it from caring. But what they don't understand is the horrible journey that they're doing by opening the borders, the stuff that they're setting these people up for, the bad circumstances that they get when they move here, or maybe great circumstances depending on if they are put up in a nice hotel. But I think to say that they're not doing it out of caring misses the fact that maybe they just don't fully comprehend what they do, and they live on this one step ahead surface level type of thinking where they go out of that place into this place, but they have no idea what all the other like peripheral issues that causes and the bad things that it could cause.
Yeah.
Go.
I just think you have to be willfully ignorant to miss all that now. I would love if that were the case, Brad, because that would, be still, there would be some dignity in that, just being unaware. But I think you have to willfully miss all that at this point.
I think the immigration question that needs to be answered is how do we bring people in here to better the United States of America? We can better people's lives. I'm all 100% for that. You have to have a mutual agreement that you want to make America better for being here. Is that too harsh? Like if you're not, you need to come to America and contribute.
No, I don't.
Is that scandalous? Because I don't.
Well, you know what? To an extent, there are a lot of people who think, no, it's mean to tell people that they're being lazy or that you have to be a part of the system.
Yeah, I think we should start saying that you need to contribute. I mean, like, I'm not telling you how much you have to contribute, because if I told you how much you have to contribute so that you can receive X amount of provisions, that's usually what these people are fleeing. That's called socialism.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's not the way it is here. Here, you put in what you can, and you get out the spoils of what you put in. Sometimes you strike gold, and you get a lot more back than you put in, and then you keep that cycle going. Sometimes it goes the other way, where you give it everything you got, and it just didn't work, so you got to try something else. You can't just give up. That's where the benefit of America comes in to support the people who come here. That's why they come here, because they get to be in the driver's seat of their own future. So why would we not have an immigration system? Like if you had a significantly more open, is a green card where you get a worker's permit? Or is that something else?
Yeah.
If you had whatever it's called, and in fact, I'd probably rename all of it so that there's no stigma. It's now the orange card.
Yellow card, red card, you're out.
You get 2 yellow cards and you're gone.
No, you'd have to get a red card.
You still got to get a red card.
Two yellow cards gives you a red card. So you get the second yellow card.
First red card's not gone.
First red card is. First yellow card isn't.
Well, it depends on what sport we're talking about, because the sports... Anyway, this is not the point. What are we talking about? Yeah, let's argue about volleyball and soccer and whatever else rules. The point being that if we want to bring people in here, and those people are willing to completely turn themselves over to be vetted, and they're willing to do whatever we stipulate they need to do, you got to pay into the system. You have to, be a worker in good standing. You should not commit crimes. Maybe that should have been the first one. Then you can come here and you can work for periods of time, and you have to stay in contact with your own home government. You have to be on record. And if you want to come here and you want to work here and you want to pay into the system and you want to, eat at the local diner and stimulate the economy a little bit there, and if you want to still have the benefits of your culture and your home country or whatever, if you want to come across the border, I've been there. I've seen the ports of entry, and was explained in great detail how there is an enormous amount of commerce that is created by people who don't want, they come across the border every day above board, and they don't want to live in America. They don't want to be Americans, but there are jobs here, so they want to make money here. I have no problem with that. So if those people want to come here and they want to contribute to the bottom line, get them in here and be bold with it. Just be out there and be like, come. And then create some sort of stipulation that if you are a worker in good standing for a specific amount of time and you want to become a citizen, make it easier for the people who have been coming here and contributing to our economy, to our society, and doing so in good standing. Make it easier for them to be citizens or dual citizens. Why wouldn't we do that? Problem with that. What we don't want is people who are walking in giving the Border Patrol the finger while they walk by and saying, come and get me. Haha, you can't. Because that's what's happening right now.
That's the whole logical argument, is nobody I've ever talked to on the conservative side of the aisle or the liberal side has a problem with immigration. Nobody has a problem with immigration. They're just asking you to use the front door instead of crawling in the window in the middle of the night. You can't come in the window and then expect everybody to go, oh, you're fine. No, the door has to be open to you. You're invited in, just like a vampire. That last part was just because I've been watching What We Do in the Shadows. And
is that a show?
It's
or
it's a vampire
just
show.
Specific to your life?
Yeah, no. It was a great point until I veered off into vampire dramas.
Yeah. Should we talk about yellow and red cards some more before we wrap up everything?
Yeah, I think we got a couple minutes.
No, we don't. We're doing a lot here today in the first 12 o'clock hour. Thank you for being here with us. We appreciate you. The YouTube live chat poll. What will come of the Gaetz ethics report released this week? Bombshell or Nothingburger? I would like to continue that conversation as well about immigration. What is it that we want out of a new immigration system? And let's do it without having to have the obvious conversation that we already agree on. Secure the border. Done. That's going to be happening. What do we do with our immigration system? And just imagine if Donald Trump is the one to reform the immigration system and say, come, just the way Joe Biden did, but he gives you a reason to come, a structure to serve in, and an apparatus to exist in without having to feel like you have to, what did you say, live in the shadows?
Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows.
I don't know. I don't do the shadow thing.
Well, wouldn't it be amazing, though, if the quote that we got from the Trump administration that lasted was, come, but do it right.
Yeah.
And the quote from the Harris administration is, do not come.
Yeah.
Do not come. Don't.
Don't. Wink, wink. Weekends America, we come back. I'm kind of excited about this one.
Okay.
I'm a little worried about how much I might fall into the traps of the biggest health trends of 2024. We're going to find out which ones we might have dipped our toe in, or maybe wish we would have, with Wiggins next. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
STS Armory online at sts-armory.com. Here are some Christmas gifts that you should consider for your loved ones or for yourself this Christmas season. You can still get them. Now, if you're in my family and you're listening, cover your ears. Don't listen. Okay, bye. They're gone. They're gone now. buy them pepper spray. There is a pepper spray that you can go in. If you go into Katie and Jesse at STS Armory, you are going to, you can go ask them, say, Annie was talking about a pepper spray. They're going to know exactly what it is because I bought like 12 of them or 20 of them, or I don't know. There's a pepper spray that you can carry on you. Anybody, any age can carry on. They can't buy it under the age of 18, but if you have a teenager or something that you want to give them a little extra protection, there is a pepper spray that you can buy there. And when you spray it on somebody, it leaves a residue that will show under like a black light or something for over a week. Get this for a great stocking stuffer for those people in your family who need a little extra protection, and get one for yourself as well. Just get a whole bunch of them. You know you want them. There's also obviously firearms, ammunition, accessories, classes, gift certificates. Katie and Jesse Johnson are the best when it comes to knowing firearms, the whole Second Amendment industry, caring for protecting your Second Amendment rights, but also keeping you in between the lines and making sure you're staying in the lane so you're staying abreast of everything that's going on in Illinois in that Second Amendment industry today. If you're interested, go visit them in Pontoon Beach, sts-armory.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Our goal at Neovitin is to make supporting your nutrition as easy as possible. That's why we created the Neovitin monthly subscription. Just go to neovitin.com, choose your multivitamin, sign up, and we will do the rest. You'll receive your Neovitin multivitamin every month with no long-term obligation. You can pause or cancel at any time, and shipping is free. Each Neovitin multivitamin includes our physician-formulated proprietary blend for nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Start supporting your nutrition the easy way with Neovitin multivitamins. Sign up for a Neovitin subscription today at neovitin.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you need the best. Onder Law. Hurt on the job? Call Onder Law today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
What will come of the Gaetz ethics report release this week? That is today's YouTube live chat poll. Will it be a bombshell? Will it be a Nothingburger, which when you bite into it, you go, oh, that's just bun. 12:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Mark Cox Morning Show has free tickets to see Toto. When we tell you to call, hold the line, and be caller number 12. You'll win tickets to see Toto August 5th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. It's all on the Mark Cox Morning Show this week.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb. Do you see what I see? A star, dancing in the night with a tail.
Wiggins!
Oh! Wiggins!
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Annie Fry Show Wiggins America segment.
You said that like you're a butler.
I said that like I'm above it, which I am. But
You're
here we
above.
are.
I'm just saying
Still
this
doing it.
with the most honest and sincerity that I possibly can. You are above very little.
But yet, I think I'm above a lot. So what does that say?
You've made a career of that, though.
I'm not really sure what I've made a career of. At times, I wonder why I'm here.
I think you never really know until you're reflecting. So let's not go there.
What will Ryan Wiggins' legacy be?
Yeah, they'll ask that question just like of LeBron.
What will this do to LeBron's legacy?
This is the biggest wellness trends of the year. And these aren't things that came from other years, like, oh, are you riding your exercise bike? This is stuff that's brand new this year to see if you've partaken in any of this or would you. The first one, red light therapy.
Oh, I was just literally researching that this morning.
This is big. This is number one on the list.
For weight loss.
It's for all kinds of things. Apparently, it was originally used as an in-office tool, but this stuff has surged in popularity thanks to claims that they smooth wrinkles, heal acne, boost hair growth, and yes, for even weight loss.
I was totally looking into this for your hair.
For my hair. Thank you.
You've said this before, if there was a product or a service that could give you like the fullest head of hair, you're game. You're in.
Oh, yeah.
Like if we had somebody who does that, call us.
Yeah.
You would do it. You would partner with them.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
How bold would... You're not bald.
No.
But you shave your head, right?
Kind of. I mean, I cut it pretty short.
Yeah. But how dramatic would you go with the hair? If you could have the fullest, longest, most flowy locks from where you are right now to what? How far would you go?
I would be the next Pantene Pro V spokesperson. You ever seen
use Pantene Pro V shampoo?
Yeah. Have you ever seen like Jennifer Aniston in those commercials? That would be me. Just kind of shaking it out constantly.
What I think that I could imagine is everything the exact same way as far as where there's not a lot of hair, but where there is hair, it's like down to your shoulders.
So just growing out what I have, that doesn't require a change.
Correct.
You have to work at a comic book store then.
I could just, you want to talk about impacting legacy. That's a look that would impact your legacy.
Well, I can tell you this, and I've said this before. If I ever had that much hair, I would grow it really long. I mean, it would be like flaunting it constantly.
Would you ever do the ice cream scoop?
Be constant. No. But I'd be flipping it around all the time, like tying it up. It's all in my face. Oh god. But I would be. You would catch me accidentally coming up out of water all the time.
For those of you listening, he put air quotes up for that.
Yeah. So it would
what
be
does that mean?
Whoops.
I guess. Is that to be the Ariel of radio?
I'd be, like, oh my gosh, there's a pool in my office for no reason now. Like, oh my gosh, the office is doing the dunk pool, the dunk thing. Like, you throw a softball. I guess I'll be the fool up there. Oh my gosh.
Would you be up in the
Mark
on
Cox
the roof?
knows a little bit about having gray hair.
I'm not worried about the gray. It's
great.
The locks. Oh, great.
Okay. I may have the grayest hair on the station, and I'm the youngest.
My beard is getting a little gray. Actually, very gray. So anyway, you're interested in red light therapy. Cool. Next one is raw milk.
I don't really believe you.
Raw milk. This is the trend this year.
No, but I have discovered Fairlife. I've told you about this, which is like, I always thought Fairlife was just like some fancy milk, but it's super packed with protein.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't eat a lot of meat, so I'm constantly looking for ways. I try to eat 100 grams of protein every day and 40 grams of fiber. That's the diet. And then wherever the calories fall, they fall. Fairlife milk has helped me get there, but it's super filtered.
Yeah, it's ultra filtered.
But
ultra processed.
But I don't
filtered.
think that's totally a different thing than raw milk. I don't even know what raw milk is.
Yeah. Well, no, with regular milk, they're like run it through a colander. With Fairlife, they're
like straight
hey,
out the
why
cow.
don't you run it through 2 colanders?
Bro,
we could run. I'm gonna blow your mind. We could run this through 3 colanders. It'd be Fairlife.
They got some catchy commercials too. They got the whistle jingle, Fairlife.
Yeah, I don't know him.
Well, I didn't recognize him until literally last night, where I was like, oh, this is kind of catchy. I was watching Friends.
Could you perform that?
Have any of you guys had raw milk?
Just this year.
And
it was amazing.
Are you a raw milk purchaser, or you just tried it?
Well, I can't tell you it was purely raw milk. I think it was though, because we went to a farm.
It was Yoo-hoo.
No, we just had this conversation with somebody last night. Yoo-hoo has no milk in it. We went to a farm in Kentucky because we visited the Creation Museum and Noah's Ark out there in Kentucky over the summer. And while we were there, we stayed at a farm that had cows, and they would just give you, as part of your Airbnb, here's some fresh milk. And it was so good.
So raw milk is just simply milk from the cow.
But this was refrigerated, so that's why I thought, well, maybe they did something to it. I don't think it was. I think it was pretty raw though. But it hurt my stomach. It was so good that I couldn't stop drinking it. But the whole time I was drinking, I'm like, my stomach needs the processed stuff. It's not used to this. And I melted.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, anybody else want to weigh in on the raw milk trend? Yes, no?
I think we've beaten that cow to death.
Dang it.
Yeah, dang it.
You're just mad you're laughing.
That was pretty good. Okay, at home.
I said deaf.
At home microbiome testing kits. Any idea what this is? Do you know what this is?
Is this where they like test your stomach bacteria and stuff like that?
Yeah, you poop in a box.
It always comes back to that.
Is that how it works?
Always comes back to that.
It's a stool sample kit. They cost from $120 to $400. They claim that by analyzing the customer's stool sample, they can provide personalized diet recommendations, which will help one manage conditions like anxiety, joint pain, and low energy.
Sounds like you could have used this after drinking the raw milk.
I think you just needed to poop. Let's go to the next one. I don't want to know if any of you have done this.
Has anybody related though? Has anybody ever done the blood panel, which is supposed to be similar? Tells you which foods you're more tolerant of.
But I was looking at that today, also with the red light therapy. It's in the same place that offers it, and I'm curious. Is that a good idea?
I have done a blood panel, and they are really cool.
Do you believe the results?
I do, because there are certain foods that I've always kind of felt weird after eating them, and it identified those foods.
It's supposed to like talk to you about what triggers inflammation in your body and
that, and it'll even tell you how it affects your body if you do a really good one. For me, it was the one I remember always is strawberries interact with me neurologically, and
make you smarter.
They make you a little they make me fidgety, and I've never known really why, but if I eat a lot of strawberries, it does, and the tests prove that.
It's funny, coffee does that to me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
You should research it.
Yeah, and it told me that I should eat as much candy as possible, and I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess I will."
Did it say anything about the Little Debbie specifically?
Yeah, it did. It told me oatmeal cream pies, and it told me double-decker fudge rounds, but not the regular.
That's
ones.
pretty fortunate.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Last one. I don't know why this one is a health trend, but it is on the list. Under-consumption core. We could put this on the retired phrases thing.
Say again.
Under-consumption core.
What does that mean?
As in, they put core after everything, like hardcore. This is under-consumption. It just means not purchasing and flaunting material goods as much.
What does that have to do with? Is it just health?
Yeah,
Health?
I don't. I mean, I guess this is mental health more than anything.
What? Sounds like not being an a-hole. Why does it have to be a trend? I mean, it shouldn't have to be a trend. It should just be what you don't do.
Person. Can you turn your mic on?
Yeah, sorry. Is it a trend if, not everyone doesn't know about it? None of us in here knew about it.
Yeah, if you were, so hardcore about not overemphasizing things, are you overemphasizing your not overemphasizing?
Yeah, that.
I think if you just say, look, this is under consumption core, you can get away with not wearing a nice watch.
We're never going to say that word again on the show, because
Okay.
I still don't even understand what it means. Deroy Murdock might, though. I'm not going to ask him. We'll be right back.
You know how we all of our kids make lists and everything and visit with Santa, and I happen to be really good friends with Santa. It's like we're the same people. So every once in a while, when he's got some free time, which he did, we're cool. So he always makes it a point to stop in and have an adult beverage with me. I was talking to him about, do you ever have requests for a homeowner wanting a furnace or an air conditioner? He said he does. And I said, so what do you deliver on that? Because I'm your best bud and you never let me know, so I've never delivered anything or put anything together. But he said he was going to leave my number and my card. If you don't find it, here's what's on my card. Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. Merry Christmas and God bless.
CiviaLaw.com, Civia, S-I-V-I-A, law.com. They have locations on both sides of the river, and this is really important for you to know because it's convenient to you. When you call 833-995-WILL, that's 833-995-WILL, you are going to be able to go to one of the locations that is the closest to you that makes it more convenient. So if you are looking to visit them in Missouri, you can go to Wentzville. In Illinois, a little more spread out, Edwardsville, East Alton, Swansea, and Mount Vernon even. Set up your strategy session with the experts at Civia Law today. And Todd Civia is amazing. You've heard him on the show. He is an expert when it comes to navigating all of the ins and outs of establishing your trust, getting your will set, and your powers of attorney, all of those types of things, your living will as well. They are there to make sure that you answer questions you didn't even know you needed to ask. And I speak from experience. I've had this conversation with them. My husband said he's got the trust funding stuff ready to go to hand over to them right now, so we're almost complete. 833-995-WILL. Give them a call. Tell him Annie sent you. CiviaLaw.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Lisa Brady, Fox News. The nearly $900 billion Defense Authorization Act just winning final approval in the U.S. Senate, now heading to President Biden's desk.
The bill sets military policy and spending for next year and includes a pay raise for service members. Supporters say the NDAA is vital for protecting the U.S. from adversaries like China and North Korea.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on the Hill. The bill had bipartisan support and opposition. Some Democrats objecting to a provision aimed at banning transgender care for minors. Some Republicans taking issue with the amount of spending when the Pentagon keeps failing audits. Pushback on a short-term spending bill aimed at keeping the government running from a Friday night deadline into March. Some House Republicans angry about the size and the timing. Florida Congressman Greg Steube telling Fox Business he's not afraid of a government shutdown.
We have a speaker who a year ago told us CRs are not the way to govern. He committed to the conference that we weren't going to govern through CRs anymore, and 4 CRs later, here we are eating another CR as a conference.
Steube says they should start fresh with the new Congress. House Speaker Mike Johnson argues this is needed in the meantime.
We are clearing the decks, and we are setting up for Trump to come in roaring back with the America First agenda. That's what we're going to run with gusto beginning January 3rd.
The U.S. Senate just rejecting an effort to fast-track legislation aimed at expanding government authority to detect and destroy drones that could pose threats over certain locations, including stadiums. A unanimous consent motion was blocked by Kentucky Republican Rand Paul, who has privacy concerns and says more information is needed. He says the Homeland Security Committee will look into the drone issue when he becomes the chairman of that panel next month. A Fox News alert on the Fed just announcing another quarter-point interest rate cut after the same last month and a half-point cut in September. Still to come, their guidance for the new year. America is listening to Fox News.
Quiet down. Here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AB.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Fair amount of sunshine, breezy from the northwest, so we are definitely cooler today. A little chill in the air, 45 degrees this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy and cold. Winds go calm, 26 for the low. Thursday, sunny and chilly, 47. Just not much going on in our atmosphere for several days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, partly sunny, high temperatures in the mid-30s. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Eye Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Estella's Pharma.
Hey, it's Annie. Get your conceal and carry with the certified experts at STS Armory. From beginners and ladies only to pepper spray, STS Armory has the class for you. Call 618-931-GUNS or stop by in Pontoon Beach at the corner of Highway 111 and South Drive.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Come discover why Cotterville Trails is the fastest selling community with 5 lakes, beach, pool, playground, and trails connected to the quaint town of Cotterville, where you can enjoy shopping, bars, and restaurants. This prime location is just off Highway 364 in Guttermouth. Choose from any of our move-in ready market homes or build to order from our popular Liberty series. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey's legendary quality and personal service since 1898.
Merry Christmas.
From the Mark Cox Morning Show to you and your family, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We have so many things to be thankful for, and we're blessed that you tune in each morning, and we're all looking forward to a great 2025.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Did DEI die on November 5th?
I think it certainly did, and you're already seeing some of the consequences of this in the private sector, where several companies are sort of rolling out these plans to roll back their own DEI initiatives that they've set in place over the past few years. But of course, I think it's going to be much more difficult to tackle DEI at the root than these companies and even some Republicans may expect. And that's because this is a big money-making racket.
Oh, DEI is a big money-making racket? Who thought that was the case? Maybe that's why it hasn't worked out so well for companies who seem to have dived headfirst into the thought of prioritizing that over basic common sense economic principles. Let's talk to our friend, Deroy Murdock, who is back with us. Happy Wednesday, Merry Christmas, Deroy. It's good to have you back, as always.
Merry Christmas, Merry Wednesday to you.
Yes, you're a nationally syndicated columnist, Project 21 ambassador, Fox News contributor. When you are looking at the DEI movement, how close are we to possibly being done with this?
Well, I'm not sure if it will go away completely, but boy, these people have just done so many wacky, destructive, useless, and entirely unhelpful things that a lot of folks have walked away from this. And as my Fox News colleague Charles Gasparino says at the title of his book, Go Woke, Go Broke, a lot of people have used that term. And a lot of companies that were rah-rah for this stuff realized, okay, well, people aren't buying our products, our stock price is going down, our market capitalization is evaporating. And they said, you know what, why don't we just go back to selling our goods and services and staying away from this sort of thing? Certainly with the Bud Light being the most dramatic example, when they embraced a transgender man, a man who pretends to be a woman, whatever term you want to use, Dylan Mulvaney, put this person in an ad, which was really cringeworthy. Their overall market capitalization for Anheuser-Busch dropped $27 billion with a B, $27 billion. Big mistake, arguably the worst marketing error ever made in American corporate history. I mean, right up there, right down there with New Coke. And I think other CEOs have seen this sort of thing and thought, well, let's try to avoid that. Although there are exceptions like Jaguar, which came up with this sort of non-binary, odd, sort of gender fluid ad that didn't even show a show a car in it, which is kind of weird. But I do think a lot of people are turning their backs on this and thinking, you know what, it's not worth it. Let's just go back to what we used to do, which is make and produce products and services and sell them in and of themselves to consumers and try to make money that way.
You know, I think, too, especially with the Anheuser-Busch thing, here in St. Louis, Anheuser-Busch is as big of a deal as it is anywhere. And
yeah, they're based there, correct?
Yes. And when we're watching this from the very front lines in St. Louis, watching the fallout, I have talked to so many people, you know, at baseball games for my son or just being out in the community. There are real people who are affected dramatically. I mean, I remember, I think it was over Memorial Day, I was talking to somebody who works with distribution and works with the trains that come through and said that they got the holiday weekend off because business was going so poorly that he always looked forward to these holiday weekends because it was time and a half or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. There are real people that are way downstream that are very affected by these businesses trying to do the publicity stunt, which is what it really feels like, of all of this woke kind of stuff. And you kind of have to ask yourself, do these corporations really care about people that are really affected by these kinds of decisions?
Well, that's a very good point because a lot of this stuff comes out of either the C-suites, the CEO, or the chief marketing officer, and those sorts of folks at headquarters, and they may get their jollies out of this sort of thing and pat themselves on the back about how woke they are, how sensitive they are, what have you. And you're right, the folks down the line, miles and miles away, if you're the Anheuser-Busch distributor in San Diego or in Miami or Seattle, you're far away from Seattle. From rather St. Louis headquarters, where I assume this decision was made, and you and your employees are the ones who are suffering from this nonsense. Or you're a bar owner and your Bud Light sales fall, and I guess they can always put another keg of something else in. But I know you've got at that point, certainly when this thing was a red hot controversy, kegs and kegs and 6 packs of Bud Light just sitting there gathering dust because nobody wanted to touch it. I was at a Christmas party the other night. I asked a friend to get me a beer, and he brought, without even thinking, he brought me a Bud Light. And I just put it on the table. I want to touch it. It's probably still there, getting warmer and warmer. So a lot of people just skin up their nose when they see Bud Light, and this is probably 2 years after that controversy erupted.
Is there? Okay, so the whole country, we're 33 days away from Donald Trump coming back into office, and I've really even watched President Trump in his own presentation to press conferences like the one he had earlier this week. He has a kind of calmed. I hesitate, but I actually think it might be the right word. He almost has a humbled approach to the way he's being asked questions and the way he's making himself available. It's just different than we've ever seen it before, and people are interested in what he has to say. Is there a possibility that Donald Trump gets back in, the economy starts booming again? Is it possible for the Anheuser-Busch's of the world or for some of these other companies that have made some of these decisions to come back? Because I, for one, want to see them come back.
I think so, and I do agree with you. His overall tone in the last, pretty much since he got reelected, has been certainly self-confident. I mean, he's not turned into a pile of fettuccine by any sense. He's still a strong guy, but I do think he's been a little more calm, a little more relaxed, a little more restrained. Maybe not quite so much bravado. Certainly, the vulgarity and probably the grandiosity have been dialed back a bit. And I don't hear anybody complaining about that. Perhaps as a consequence of that, you've seen people like Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and a lot of these Silicon Valley multi-billionaires coming in. The gentleman who runs SoftBank in Japan announced a couple of days ago $100 billion investment in the United States economy, including about 100,000 jobs they're planning on creating. I think a lot of that is people seeing a guy who's a winner, who's apparently omnipotent. I mean, they can't stop this guy. And I do think this kind of warmer tone you're talking is probably part of it. And if he does achieve what he wants and implements his agenda, the economy booms and the crime goes down, the border is more secure, I think a lot of folks will say, you know what, this guy's a winner. Why are we fighting him? Let's get in line and stop the left-wing craziness. And if that's where the country is, if that's where the market is, that's where the consumers are, it only makes economic sense to move in that direction rather than try to, be the, duplicate the AOC or or Maxine Waters or Kamala Harris model.
Yeah, but there's so much pressure from the far, far left in the last 10, maybe 15 years or so, since Hope and Change came on the scene in the mid-2000s. So much pressure to, like, hey, be on the right side of history and posture in a way that made sure that you every day had to make sure that you told everybody hate has no home here and whatever else that sign says that people put in their yard. But I'm hoping that people feel freed from that we can just get back to the business of doing the things that we are individually in business for. I think that America would really thrive from being able to get back to that.
I think that's true, and I also think a lot of people, maybe part of the reason you're seeing what we're discussing, is people are just exhausted. I mean, you can't get up every morning and hear about racism, sexism, slavery, and Hitler, and not just feel exhausted after year after year after year of this. Everybody's a racist. Everybody's either oppressor or oppressed, and everyone walks down the streets a victim, and every man is, a rapist. I mean, that just becomes draining, especially when so much of this is completely untrue. I mean, yes, there are rapists out there racists out there, but most men are not rapists, and most white people are not racist, and most black people are not victims. And I think a lot of people are just tired of hearing that, pretty much, as you say, nonstop since about 2006 to 2007 or so.
Deroy Murdock speaking with us right now, nationally syndicated columnist, of course, Fox News contributor. Meanwhile, while all of that kind of posturing and pandering has been going on, there have been very impactful things happening in the last 4 years that have hurt our country, specifically the border and the wide open nature of it under Joe Biden. And we've seen lately, I don't know that Joe Biden's all of a sudden making these decisions. I have a feeling that Jill Biden is just mad at everybody, and she's trying to make everybody mad all at one time. But what do you make of this move to auction off these border materials that are sitting there on the southern border? I remind people that Kamala Harris was campaigning on building more border wall. Imagine she wins the election and Joe Biden starts auctioning off these materials. That seems absurd, and it's just as absurd with Trump coming into office.
Yeah, it's completely ridiculous, and they're doing this at a tremendous loss. These pieces of border wall, which are reinforced steel, Trump explained in his press conference on Monday, I guess it was, very tall. They're about, I think, 40, I think it's 30 to 40 feet tall. Very tough steel with cement inside and rebar inside of that, so very hard to cut through that. So this stuff is very, very tough. It's expensive, and these folks are, the auction price starts at $5 for each one of those units. That's like a 95 or 99% loss. Enormous waste of money. And what that means is if all that stuff is gone, Trump is going to have to go back to Congress, ask for more money for this, which is going to be another fight, which I imagine as long as he controls the Congress, he'll win. But certainly if, God forbid, there's a Democrat majority in either house, that's going to be a total battle. It's going to take time to do this. It's going to slow everything down. And instead of being able to start putting the wall back in on January 20th of next year, it's going to be April or May or June or who knows when, with that many more opportunities for people to run across the border. So I think this is sabotage. And my father, of all people, had a really good idea, which is Elon Musk, who's got $400 billion, should buy all this wall that's available, just purchase it outright, and either donate it to the American people or say, look, Donald J. Trump, here it is. You can use it. I've now acquired this for the American people, and I'll just please reimburse me for the expense. And that'll be much cheaper than having to go out and spend, 100 cents on the dollar rather than 5 cents on the dollar. So it'll be free to the American people or 95% off, which is, I'll take that discount.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I let you go, Deroy, you mentioned Elon Musk, and I think that's a really smart move. And with his responsibility as being an advisor with the Doge, I could totally see him doing something like that. But just on a side note, with Elon Musk, the man, how blessed is the United States of America that Elon Musk is here and willing to do the things that he's been willing to do?
Oh, enormously blessed. I mean, remember, he is a native of South Africa. He could have stayed there. He could have gone to England. He could have gone to Europe, who knows where. But he's in this country creating products, services, innovation, jobs. I think he's probably the closest thing we have is somewhere a combination of Thomas Edison and Henry Ford rolled into one, with rockets as well. He is just an incredibly brilliant, enthusiastic, and patriotic man, and I'm very happy that he's in the United States and helping our side of the aisle and on the Trump train and not, on the Kamala train, which I guess is sitting somewhere derailed in the middle of the desert. So we're very lucky to have Elon Musk, as someone said, as our wealthiest African American citizen.
Yeah. Yep. We appreciate you, Deroy. Merry Christmas to you. 1 week from today will be Christmas, so we won't speak then, but we're always grateful for you. You're an important part of the Annie Fry Show family, and we love having our conversations.
It's always great to speak with you, and Merry Christmas to you and yours and to our listeners, and look forward to talking to you next year.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you, Deroy.
You bet. Thanks
Bye-bye.
a lot. Bye-bye.
Deroy Murdock, nationally syndicated columnist, Project 21 ambassador, Fox News contributor, and friend of the Annie Fry Show. It is always kind of funny that Elon Musk is African American. He just is. That's the science of it. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to speak with Brett Velicovich. I have to practice that name before I say it to him on the air. He is a former United States Army Special Ops Tech Analyst. He is a drone expert, and he is a member of Red Cat Holdings Board of Advisors. You have seen him likely having these conversations on Fox News quite a bit right now. Brad, when you were working with him, he has a theory on what's going on. How would you preface the kind of information he's going to be able to give us when we come back?
What he is he's a special forces operative and a drone expert, and he works. Red Cat Holdings is a drone supplier for the United States military, so he's able to look at this information, and he's got ideas on whether or not these are military, whether or not they're civilian, whether or not they're foreign.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, well, we'll talk to Brett Velicovich here on the Annie Fry Show when we come back. On X, he is the Drone Warrior. If you want to go follow him on X before we start our chat when we come back. On the YouTube live chat poll, have you ever come and said hi on YouTube? We'd love to see you there. But you can also vote. You hear me talk about it every day. Now's the day. You find us on YouTube. Just type in Annie Fry, F-R-E-Y. And you'll see that we are broadcasting live right now. There is a live chat that goes with every live broadcast on YouTube. And in the live chat at the top, you'll see our poll. We want to know from you today, what will come of the pending Gaetz ethics report that will be released this week? Bombshell or Nothingburger? You let us know what you think. We'll talk to Brett Velicovich about those mysterious drones next.
First class of fancy free. She's high society.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
What could a guy like me ever really offer?
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. This is a phone call you need to be making very soon. So I'm going to give you the phone number that goes directly to Stewie here in just a second. So grab your phone real quick, get a scratch piece of paper, because I'm going to tell you the number that goes directly to Stewie, his cell phone. And you can talk to him about a bagel loan. Start your new year off right with a bagel loan, because when you refinance your mortgage, I just heard there was a rate cut. Today. That was kind of news. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't know what that's going to mean for mortgage rates, but if your mortgage rate right now, maybe you got it in the last 2 years or so, is super high, you can refinance at no cost to you. This is a no-brainer, folks, but it does start with this phone number, 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. You Google the bagel loan, you can find out more information. The bagel loan comes with zero closing costs. When you use the bagel loan to get your new mortgage, when you use the bagel loan to refinance your mortgage, you pay $0 in closing costs. Nothing. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-481-4455. 800-481-4455. That's 800-481-4455.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Who you choose to sell your St. Louis area home matters, especially in this changing market. We all know a few realtors, including me, but I only recommend one realtor. Mark Cox here. For the past several years, I've gotten to know Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria's different, guaranteeing to sell your home at your agreed-to price, or Gloria will buy it. When selling your home, you want the most money and the least hassle. That's exactly what you get with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Check this out. After 6 months, 2 separate agents failed to sell the Wheeler family's home. With no more time to waste, they decided to give Gloria Liu a call. Within a few days, Gloria was able to get them multiple offers and sold their home at nearly 99% of listing price because Gloria already had the buyers. The agent you choose to sell your home really matters. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. The Mark Reardon Show.
Selena Zito, you don't know anything about this Thomas Crooks guy yet. Isn't that weird?
I just don't understand. There are some incredibly great investigative reporters. How is it that none of them are on this?
Weekdays from 3 to 6. This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
While shepherds kept their watching, oh, silent flocks by night, behold, throughout the heavens, there shone a holy light.
Why does it have to be a classified briefing if these are just hobbyist drones, they're not military drones? Why is it a classified briefing on the Capitol Hill?
I'd have to refer you to Congress on that. Again, sharing as much information as we can here. I don't have the briefing in front of me, so I can't tell you specifically, what aspects are classified or not. I can assure you, though, that again, we are sharing as much information as we can based on what we know.
The Pentagon Press Secretary Pat Ryder answering Fox News Channel's Jennifer Griffin's questions about the classified nature of the drone briefing. And it's captivated the country. Everybody wants to know what's going on. It's probably even broader than just the United States of America. These strange lights that are flying above New Jersey, people want to know what they are. Mostly, I think people want to know that they're safe and they want to be assured that they're safe. And I don't know that we've seen our government officials offer that type of security and comfort quite yet. Let's talk to Brett Velicovich, a former United States Army Special Ops Tech Analyst, a drone expert, and a member of the Red Cat Holdings Board of Advisors. Brett, thank you for being here with us today. We've seen you talking about these drones, and it's really great to have you on the show to talk about it with us this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Annie.
I will say, like, as like the most civilian thing you can say, like, I believe that the government has things that I don't know about. I don't even know how large of an estimation it would be of what the American people, the civilians, do know about. Like, do we know about 5%, 10%? When you're in New Jersey and you see these lights above you, you get nervous. And I think what makes people more nervous is the lack of information. How do you feel about the way the discussion has been held and kind of extended throughout these weeks while these lights are above New Jersey?
Well, that's the biggest issue I see with all of this is whether you want to call it military testing, adversarial, or nothing at all. It's the way the government has handled this and their transparency with the American people that has really botched this from the beginning. They should have been open to the public about this from day one, but they took a long time to respond. And then pretty much we've got this major lack of trust, a lack of faith in our government institutions right now. And so the problem is it doesn't matter what they're going to say. It doesn't matter if John Kirby comes out and says nothing to see here. People aren't going to believe it, even if it's the truth. And we've got to fix that. But more importantly, we've got to fix the gaps we have in our drone defenses, the gaps we have in technology, in our national security infrastructure. We are not used to worrying about drones in our airspace. We've always owned that market for years. We were the ones that could send drones thousands of miles away in another country and fly them, from Nevada or New Mexico, and we own that space. That doesn't exist anymore. We're no longer own the drone technology space because of what innovations have been occurring overseas over the last few years, especially with the Ukraine war. So our government is not in a position to be able to detect and mitigate and down these smaller drones. And that's why they're confused internally. So how do they come out and tell the public with confidence they've got it handled when I personally know internally they don't? They're catching up to what's really going on in other parts of the world.
Okay, so we're speaking with Brett Velicovich. My apologies for butchering your name before. I've been practicing it and I said it wrong still. You are a drone expert. You know about these things at a level that most Americans wouldn't know about it. Donald Trump, President-elect Donald Trump, earlier in his press conference was asked about these earlier this week, and he said they know what's going on. The military knows what's going on. Is the communication style coming from this government? Do you believe that it is just haphazard, and are they just fumbling the ball completely? Are they being evasive for a particular reason? Is there a benefit to being that way?
No, I don't think they're being evasive, and I don't think it's some big government conspiracy. But they're having a hard time articulating that to our country because we believe that we are an extremely powerful nation, and we have billions of dollars that go to our Defense Department, our intelligence services, all this fancy technology. We have, nuclear bombs. Like, we've got some crazy stuff in our arsenal. But it's hard to tell the average American that we just don't have the proper authorities, drone detection systems at a widespread level in the U.S. and convince the American people that that's the case, because it's like, where is all this money going to? Well, we have this major, huge, we're first world country, very powerful. And so no one believes that we're not set up to do something about it unless you start talking to the real experts that are seeing this stuff every single day. And they will tell you that we are not prepared. We are extremely vulnerable. This issue has been happening now for a couple years. I've talked to a few sources in the industry that work very closely with the DoD, specifically doing counter-drone technology, and they were told to prepare for this October and this December for these drone events to start occurring again. But the problem is that you've got all of these different agencies. You've got the FAA, the DHS, the FBI. Everyone's got different authorities. No one really knows who's in charge. The local law enforcement doesn't know what they're legally allowed to do. And so you've got this just massive problem with different groups not knowing what to do. And that's a government inefficiency issue. There should be, there should be a whole of government approach to fix this, because this is not going to be the last time that we're going to have drones flying over our airspace and not know what's going on.
How much of this activity takes place and it doesn't make the national news? I mean, I would assume there are a lot
All the time.
all the time, all across the
All the
country, or is New Jersey just the hotbed?
No, all the time across the country, drones are flying over military bases, sensitive sites, and not even just in U.S. military bases in the United States. There are confirmed, drones flying over bases in Europe and Germany, and there was drones flying over the UK recently that they couldn't figure out. This is not hard to do. If I wanted to do it to the enemy, I could all day long, and there isn't much they could do about it. But that's the reality. Is there are more drones in the world than there are manned aircraft. So, and a lot of drones don't have. If some kid in his backyard builds a drone, he doesn't put all the fancy technology in it that the FAA can use to track the locations of these things that are required by law. They don't care. So they're going to go do whatever they want. And that's the reality. Is we've got a lot of drones out there that can't be tracked because there's just not real regulation designed to stop it.
You said, Brett, we're speaking with Brett Velicovich, who's a drone expert. You said, like, if you wanted to do this and track your enemy, that you could do that. So, I mean, I'm just going to ask a really basic question. Is it obvious that our enemies are doing that here already?
It's obvious to the experts in the industry. It's obvious to the intelligence agencies. It's not obvious to the everyday law enforcement officer or governor or local congressman. And that's what has captivated the American people these last couple of weeks, is because people are starting to finally look up in the air. People are starting to ask real hard questions, and they should be. American people have a right to know what's in our airspace, but we no longer control our airspace. Frankly, we no longer have control over it, which we used to. And that's because it's not difficult for somebody commercially to take drones that used to be reserved only for military, first world nation states that have the big military budgets. It's nothing for people to create these systems. And that's the danger here. Is I've been really pushing, I don't even care at this point if it's adversarial, if it's some secret government project. I've been really just focused on why our government doesn't have a handle on it and why they can't honestly say what's going on. And you've got different government officials saying different things. You've got senators coming out saying it's Iran. You've got someone just came out this morning and said it's China. Then other groups you got President Trump coming out and saying it's our military knows. And there's too much confusion across the board because our own government can't get a handle on it. Remember when the president President Trump was nearly assassinated recently? There was a drone flying in the air for almost 3 or 4 hours before that occurred by the shooter. The Secret Service, had they had counter drone technology in place that can easily detect those drones over those more VIP locations that we have senior leaders going to, they would have been able to determine that somebody was flying a surveillance drone. But they didn't have it there, and they didn't employ it. And this is the Secret Service.
Yeah.
If the Secret Service at the federal level that should have a ton of budget can't even do it, what do you think, the New Jersey Highway Patrol guy who sees a drone in the air with a bomb on it, what do you think, he can do about it right now? Nothing.
Panic.
Nothing.
That's it. Yeah, it's very disconcerting for especially the people who are probably in that position in law enforcement. They know enough to know what the possibilities are, but they're getting absolutely nothing from the powers that be to provide the safety and security that they know needs to be provided. With the new administration coming in, I assume that there would be an opportunity to have a new mentality towards our protection from these drones, or awareness of, or the ability to communicate surrounding them, especially considering they're as prominent as you say that they are. Do you have specific suggestions on regulations or policies that should be put in place regarding our American attitude towards drones?
Well, I think this event is shifting that. We're seeing, I think we're going to see a major shift in investment in drone technology. I think Red Cat Holdings is one that's seeing that already, just because the U.S. military is starting to use non-Chinese made drones. That's a big reason why they chose Red Cat's products for their infantry soldiers, because we've had to rely on Chinese technology for a while at the tactical small level, because frankly, it was better. I mean, that's it. And a soldier in a trench is going to use what's the best tool they have available to them. And if that Chinese drone's better, they're going to use that. But that's shifted now. Now we have technology like Red Cat and the Black Widow and systems that are really capable of shifting the balance of power into our favor in that regard. And I think you're going to see this move to Congress to start putting money in counter drone technology solutions also. And I think a lot of people are learning now how the industry needs more investment in it, and how each state needs to be on the same literally wavelength with these systems to help protect the public.
We're speaking with Brett Velicovich. He is an expert when it comes to drones, a former United States Army Special Ops Tech Analyst. He's a member of Red Cat Holdings Board of Advisors. Brett, give us some examples. I understand that you might know exactly. If you did, you'd be the first one to make it clear to the American people here. But what are some examples of reasons why an adversary, or maybe just another country who wants to do a little looking, would fly a drone over a military base, or, somebody's home in a suburban New Jersey or whatever it might be? What are some of the intentions that are within the realm of the technology that exists on these drones that these individuals could be, or individual companies or countries, I should say, could be using these drones for?
Yeah, it's all about the data. I mean, I used to do this in the U.S. government. My job was to hunt terrorists, senior level leaders within ISIS and Al Qaeda, and I did that with drones primarily. And what you're doing is you're gathering as much data as you can, as much information, so that you can use that for war and use that information. A lot of people think that drones are all about just high powered cameras, and a drone can just flies over a city, and whatever it's staring at, that's the only information it's collecting. That's just not true at all. You can put a lot of sensors, special technology on drones to collect information. Like you can collect cell phone. I could take a small drone, fly it over your neighborhood, and take everyone's cell phone numbers within seconds in that entire neighborhood. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with that. You can take IP addresses from computers. You can hack into different systems. Any device that an intelligence organization has that's light enough to fit on a drone, you can use it for that. And that's the danger here is this collection on Americans that could be potentially used against us during war. That's really the danger.
I guess, that sounds spooky. It sounds scary. I know people have freaked out post 9/11 about the Patriot Act and this sounds like that on steroids. It seems very intimidating to hear that type of thing. When we talk about our enemies doing that to us, what is the worst case scenario that you see happening from what we're watching take place in New Jersey that is actually within the realm of possibility with the lack of attention that we're seeing from our United States government? How bad could this actually be?
Well, the biggest danger is there's bombs strapped to these things, and
that's a possibility.
As they're flying, and that's happening every single day in Ukraine. Bombs are attached to drones that children used to use a couple years ago, and they're destroying multi-million-dollar tanks. They're destroying naval warships. $1,000, a drone that costs $1,000 can, be outfitted with the right bombs and hit just the perfect location to destroy warships. That's happening every single day. 70 to 80% of the attacks of the strikes right now on the Ukraine-Russian war are from drone strikes. That's how they're fighting this fight. And when you talk about the sightings over President Trump's
Bedminster
area, Bedminster, you then start talking about the movements of VIPs, and that's what I did, right? I would follow bad guys around all day long. I would watch them go into their house and go to sleep and walk out of their house and drive around and do everything they did. And you would just establish that life pattern of where they're moving. And then when you're ready to strike, you strike. And that's the other piece of it is if somebody starts putting bombs on these things, it's a whole different level. And if these drones can fly over those sensitive sites without much difficulty, it's nothing to put a bomb on them and do the same thing. So that's where the real danger is, I think, is you start weaponizing these.
It sounds like we're way behind on do we have the ability to stop them? But it seems like the lack of ability to communicate with the American people right now really gives a lot of people, and it scares me that it scares you how haphazardly the government is addressing this current problem right now. Is it a matter of mindset to handle this situation the correct way? You get a new guy in there and policy changes and you can remedy a lot of these things, or is it going to take an enormous amount of time?
Our government is it's not designed to move rapidly and innovate rapidly. That's got to change. The FAA, I looked up recently, the administrators in charge of the FAA, I don't think we've had one in the last near decade that didn't last more than 18 months. The FAA is supposed to be in charge of this airspace, and drones will become more important to manage than manned aircraft in the coming years because of the sheer volume. And they sort of we've got these senior leaders that didn't grow up in the drone world, if that makes sense. I don't know how to quantify that, but it's like our Secretary of Defense currently. That guy, when he was probably a rock star infantry soldier, just a total rock star, right, to become a SecDef. That dude did not get training on how drones work like I did growing up post 9/11. And it's going to take this decade transition in leadership to start saying, guys, there's a new way of fighting a war. Like we used to in Vietnam, when we were shooting at someone over the hill, we would just shoot at the helmet that we saw popping up over the hill. We didn't know what was over there. We just knew the enemy was there and you fired that direction. Now with drones, we can see what's over that hill. We can say, yes, that definitely is the bad guys. And it's like a whole government change in mentality that's got to shift towards this. And I don't see it happening anytime soon. I just don't, I don't see the best we have right now is President Trump being able to come in there and maybe even Doge, right, with Elon Musk. That's the best solution to chop the excess and go right to the core of what's needed in these agencies. I just that is a monumental task. Yes. I really hope that they can change it and start. The biggest thing though is we need more money poured into our drone industry. Our industrial base, that built drones has been decimated. A lot of companies are just now starting to really get big investments to build out their drone warehouses and production, and that's really, really good. They haven't done it before because of regulations. Regulations cost a lot of money dealing with, and we have to flip those policies quickly and get our country back leading the drone war.
Yes. When you're talking about the people who are making the decisions right now not understanding drone warfare, I remember when the Senate was there was a hearing and they were talking to Mark Zuckerberg and they're like, you don't have to pay to sign up for Facebook. How do you make money? And he's like, advertising. And it was just such a foreign, and you're like, these people are not on social media. They might have social media managers, but here they are responsible for something that's big and broad and censoring the American people, and they don't even know where to start. And I just want to thank you specifically. I did a little Google, and I don't know if Google is always correct here, but when I looked up Brett's age here, it said that he's 41. So he's basically the same class that I am. And we just lost our connection with him. So we're going to get him back on the show because it was a really interesting conversation. He might call back. He's in the United States Army. He's another example of a guy who signed up post 9/11. He talked about growing up in a post 9/11 world, and these individuals who have signed up under these circumstances, they are a different breed. And I think it's really, really important. I don't know that we have as a country quite yet appropriately recognized those individuals who have stepped into the fray and been a part of this post 9/11 battle that exists in such a different way than it did in wars past. So it's exciting. Are we going to get him again? I'm Yes. Okay. All right. Brad's going out to talk to Ethan to see what's going on. Being 40 myself, I have dear friends, dear friends of mine who served in a capacity post 9/11 and was able to go in and fight a war that had no boundaries, had entirely different means under wild circumstances after 9/11, and a lot of people having to answer questions in a way that was just very difficult. Under a lot of people post Afghanistan questioning why they went there because they've seen people like Joe Biden really disrespect them in the way that they've handled the post-war over there. Great to talk to Brett Velicovich. Excited to have him on, and we'll get him back on again soon. Let's take a quick break. Went super long with Brett, but that was an interesting conversation. We'll be back after a few quick messages here. Don't go away.
That Jesus Christ is born.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Michael's Flooring Outlet is online at igotfloored.com. That's the website for you to go do some holiday shopping for the new flooring that you want for your house, that fresh new carpet, the feel of how plush it is, the smell of carpet when it's fresh and brand new in your home. Every time you walk in the door, you smell it and you're like, yes, that's right. And it just looks beautiful. It makes everything seem new. You can get that Mohawk Smart Strand Superior Performance Carpet in your home. And you can start by requesting an estimate online at igotfloored.com. Michael's Flooring Outlet has 3 locations around the St. Louis area. So if you want to go touch and feel and run your hands across that just beautiful, beautiful Mohawk Smart Strand carpet, you can do that in store. But if you want to do a little perusing online ahead of time, I understand that for sure. Go to igotfloored.com and you can request an estimate there. You can check out the different options that are available to you. Maybe it's not carpet you're looking for. Maybe it's the Techwood Plus line of flooring. Maybe you're looking for tile. Maybe you're looking for carpet tile. So many options available for you. You can find out all the details online at igotfloored.com.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend right here on 97.1 FM Talk. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com wants to remind you that if you pay for your own health insurance, open enrollment ends January 15th. If you are looking for coverage, do not go online looking for quotes. You'll get endless calls from call centers and they will not stop. Instead, call Greg, an expert with over 40 years experience, and he can provide sound advice for your health insurance needs. Their plans, if you qualify, let you pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. The monthly premiums are independent of your income, so there will be no surprise tax bills. If you pay for your own health insurance, own a small business, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. They will custom design a plan managed by you, not the government.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
You entrusted a nursing home with the care of a loved one, but they violated that trust. If your family member has been the victim of nursing home neglect, call Onder Law at 844-BED-SORE.
So what will come of the Gaetz Ethics Report release this week? That is the YouTube live chat poll of the day. Vote, leave a comment. We'll give you the results of this poll at the end of the show in about an hour. Will it be a Nothingburger? Will it be a Bombshell? That is up to you to decide today in the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll. 152. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hi, this is Fred Bottomer from The Mark Reardon Show, inviting you to donate blood at the Odyssey Holiday Heroes Blood Drive. Please call 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule an appointment or visit redcrossblood.org. Use sponsor code Odyssey.
This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Well, that was a really interesting conversation with Brett Velicovich. Did you get to listen to any of that, or did you just totally not care about any of it?
Well, I don't care, but I listened anyway, just out of professional obligation. Brett?
I hope he's not listening.
Yeah.
I hope he's not listening.
Ryan, you're full of crap.
I'm going to have him back on.
That was very interesting.
Let's book him again at like 12:45.
Yeah, maybe like on next Wednesday.
Yeah, recurring.
Wednesday. Yeah. Brett, we're going to need you on Christmas. Let's talk drones and bombs.
Okay,
on
yeah,
Christmas.
wow.
I got a text message from somebody, and we lost him. He told us ahead of time that he was in the mountains, and he was worried about the connection. We went way long with him anyway, so it's probably for the best. But he said they absolutely could be strapped with bombs. What I mean, when you're talking EMP, which is something that would be devastating to the area that it affected, and the area it affects would definitely be impacted on the size of what that EMP would, how big it was. There's so many possibilities of what this could be, and I really wanted him to come on the show and be like, it's fine.
No, that was not what he said.
It's fine. There's nothing to worry about. You guys, we got this. We're America. And he was like, we're screwed. That's what, unless we change our course.
Yeah, he was basically like, the technology's ahead of the government.
Don't you feel like the, the military-industrial complex, that they're ahead of the American government?
I mean, you'd think.
That's what the movies say.
Yeah, it must be true then. I actually, I was in the industry myself.
Military-industrial complex?
No, not that industry. The film industry. About 10 years ago, people were really excited in TV and film about drones because, oh my gosh, you used to have to have a helicopter to get this shot. Now you can just use a drone, and people are using drones at people's weddings and all kinds of stuff, So every tech guy was
like
really...
camera drones, yeah.
Yeah, camera drones
Not
to get
EMP,
amazing shots of an aerial view of the bride
It's
walking.
the new way to make sure that nobody actually takes pictures of the bride. And
Yeah.
let the photographer do it. You just set off an EMP over there.
Right.
Just a little mini one.
But everybody was using these things, and they're so cool. People were investing pretty good money into the really good ones. And what I just heard him say is, those good ones, maybe not the ones you're getting.
He said $1,000
for your kid. That's more
You're gonna
expensive
pay
than the
more-
one you're getting at Christmas.
You're going to pay more than $1,000. Like a photographer is going to pay a lot more than just $1,000 for their really nice camera.
Yeah. But those drones that, people are using now and you've probably seen them. Those are the drones that Ukraine is using right now to bomb tanks. That means that this whole thing is available to the average person.
But not just tanks, though. I mean, they're dropping these things down into the trenches and everything.
Don't you think that the end result here is a really great Second Amendment argument for us owning tanks?
Yes.
Shoot back.
Yeah. Well, for you owning a tank.
You want me to own the tank?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because they're expensive. But then I would maybe be like,
it's like
shoot.
a boat.
Let me
you don't
dig
wanna
through
own it.
my pennies here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always the best thing you can do is have a friend with a boat.
Right.
A friend with a tank.
That's because if you're moving, you can be like, hey, can I borrow your tank for a weekend?
Let's take a quick break. 2 o'clock hour right around the corner. The YouTube live chat poll. Come vote. Annie Fry YouTube channel. What will come of the Gaetz ethics report that is going to be released this week? Bombshell or Nothingburger? We'll be right back.
In Missouri, farming isn't just a profession. It's a purpose. You can feel it in our 27 million acres of farmland. You can see it in the nearly 41,000 Missourians who work in agriculture. You can hear it at our farmers markets. You can count it in the $93.7 billion it brings our state. And you can taste it at your family's dinner table. A lot of farmers in our state rely on Bayer's tools and inventions because Bayer has a purpose too. To help farmers thrive. Learn more at go.bayer.com/purpose. Paid for by Bayer.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the home of the bagel loan, and when you are looking to make sure that you have the best situation set up for you when it comes to your mortgage, Stewie is the phone call to make. He's a text to send as well, if it's easier for you. I'm a texter. I am so much more likely to text somebody than I am to call someone and get the job done. You can too with Stewart. It's 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan for more information. Make sure that you are looking at your finances overall because you can do a bagel loan refinance with Stewart's American Mortgage. And don't forget that when you use the bagel loan, $0 in closing costs. There aren't any. They're not rolled into the loan. They don't exist elsewhere. You can get that refinance done at no additional cost to you and get that mortgage rate lowered. You can also make sure that if you want to take some cash out, equity in your home, you can do that with a bagel loan as well. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan and MLS number 226715.
If you're thinking of getting new hardwood, carpet, laminate, or vinyl flooring at one of those big box or discount stores, put it on hold. As in Reinhold. Reinhold Flooring, covering St. Louis and beyond since 1988. Residential or builder, you'll find everything you need in our showroom on Telegraph. When it comes to investing in your home, you want the best in carpet, laminate, vinyl flooring, or area rugs. Put those others on hold with Reinhold Flooring. Stop by Telegraph Road or learn more at reinholdflooring.com.
KFTK FM Florissant,
An Odyssey station.
The Fed makes a move. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
The economy is strong overall and has made significant progress toward our goals over the past 2 years.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell after a quarter-point interest rate cut, their third cut of the year.
The labor market has cooled from its formerly overheated state and remains solid. Inflation has moved much closer to our 2% longer run goal.
Though inflation has been a bit stickier lately, and Powell says today's rate cut was a closer call than last month's reduction. He also says they'll be cautious with additional cuts, signaling the Fed may reduce rates more slowly next year than previously expected. And stocks are now heading south. The Dow's down 496 points. A possible lifeline for TikTok as the U.S. Supreme Court fast-tracks the social media giant's appeal over a federal law requiring the app to be sold by its Chinese parent company to avoid being banned in the U.S. Arguments are set for January 10th, just days before the deadline for a sale.
A bipartisan vote in Congress set up the looming deadline amid concerns from the administration that TikTok poses a national security threat because of the amount of data collected. President-elect Trump supported the ban at the time, but during the campaign promised to save TikTok and hosted the company's CEO this week. TikTok says the law violates free speech rights.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Louisiana's health department says a bird flu patient is in critical condition with severe respiratory illness. The CDC says it's the first severe human case of bird flu in the U.S. and also the first stemming from backyard flocks. Most other human cases have been farm workers exposed to infected dairy cows or poultry. The Louisiana patient is over age 65 and is reported to have underlying health issues. California Governor Gavin Newsom just declaring a state of emergency over bird flu after more cases were found in Southern California dairy cows. America is listening to Fox News.
Quiet down. Here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Fair amount of sunshine, breezy from the northwest, so we are definitely cooler today. A little chill in the air, 45 degrees this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy and cold. Winds go calm, 26 for the low. Thursday, sunny and chilly, 47. Just not much going on in our atmosphere for several days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, partly sunny. High temperatures in the mid-30s. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
aircomfortservice.com. Visit them online and you will be able to see all of the different services that you can enjoy from Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. They have you covered when it comes to keeping you in your comfort zone. When the weather outside is getting very frightful, inside you're going to keep it nice and warm and cozy and reliable. That's why you go to Air Comfort Service. They have a whole bunch of different services they can add to, just generally speaking, the temperature of your home. One of them is an air scrubber. If you are dealing with a lot of agitations, you're inside your house a lot more during the winter months, you can get an air scrubber from Air Comfort Service to clean the air in your home, get rid of all of those allergens that are existing in there and making you feel miserable all of the time. 314-513-0091. That's the number to give them a call. You can just put it in your phone if you're interested in maybe giving them a call later. Save this number under Air Comfort Service, 314-513-0091. And tell them Annie said hi. aircomfortservice.com.
At Hampton Manor of Wentzville, they go the extra step to make sure their residents feel special. Mark Cox here from my friends at Hampton Manor. I recently stopped by there. You know, their veterans are celebrated with special recognitions, including special pastries created by their pastry chef. They have their own private chef. They'll even feed you lunch if you stop by for a visit at this great senior living community off the Lake St. Louis exit at Highway 70. Schedule your appointment today at wentzvilleassistedliving.com.
This holiday season, save $30 on the GTA 26 handheld garden pruner. Now just $149.99. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Offer valid for a limited time. Only at participating dealers while supplies last.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Get a 97.1 t-shirt. We've partnered with our friends at Whiskey Dickerson Small Batch Outfitters to bring you a line of high-quality conservative merchandise. Wear it loud. It's all at 971talk.com/merch.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for being here this Wednesday afternoon. Remember back at the beginning of the show where we played that clip where that crazy lady, CNN political analyst Karen Finney, was like, if Kamala Harris has the energy, she should run again in 2028.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't feel like we made fun of that enough.
You want to circle back, Saki?
Circle back. Man, did she get out at the right time?
No kidding.
For her to be able to just kind of wash her hands of the whole thing and be like, I'm just going to sit on CNN and bloviate all the time and make probably a boatload of money.
I think she should run for president again if she believes she has the energy
she doesn't
to
even
do
believe
it.
it.
No,
she doesn't.
We were weeks, days maybe from when Joe Biden was still the candidate, and Colin's like, I can't even keep up with him. Like, what are you talking about? Then she takes over for him, and then Joe Biden gets mad and tries to tank everything. She was making, we talked about this, but she was like making eyes at Donald Trump at Notre Dame. She is not doing anything. Jill Biden is not doing anything to push back against the I voted for Donald Trump message.
No, she's not. To suggest now, though, that Kamala Harris was actually a pretty good candidate, but that Donald Trump was just such a good candidate, it's a weird place to be saying, yeah, but when you have somebody that comes back to earth a little bit, let's say we have a J.D. Vance in 2028. Now, she could beat him for sure.
I would love for Kamala Harris to run in a primary and get trounced.
Uh-huh.
That would be fun for me.
I would love to see Kamala Harris run in a primary. Everybody clear the stage for her once she got to South Carolina. They'd nominate her again basically by DNC committee. And then she picks the person on the stage that called her a racist the most.
It's going to be Joe Biden from the stands. You know how, like in Happy Gilmore, I don't know if you can say the J-A word on the radio.
Uh-huh. Jack Butt.
Yeah, Jack Butt. Be Joe Biden in the back of the room, dressed in like a nice green army jacket that says, I don't care to you on the back. I don't really care.
Jack Butt.
Yeah, Jack Butt.
Happy Gilmore 2 coming out soon.
I don't think it can be bad.
What?
Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh.
I know.
Oh.
I know.
We'll wait and see.
But if you go into it with the expectation of that was so fun the first time, it'll be fun to just revisit this old friend. If just don't go in with unreasonable expectations.
Yeah, and I actually, in this sense, would trust Adam Sandler enough.
I do too.
He doesn't
Which is
really
funny.
do
Have
a
you
lot
seen
of.
the Little Nicky?
No, but
Oh, man.
No, but he does not do a lot of sequels, and there's a reason for that.
I like how he operates because I think he makes movies. He has his friends in them, and they all get royalties from movies. If they have, if they're in it, they have a line or two. It's always fun to be like, oh, that's one of the lawyers from Big Daddy, and that's the
it's the same four guys.
One of the lawyers from Big Daddy is his caddy in Happy Gilmore. I mean, they're just recycled through, and some of the movies to me they look like they needed a payday. And I don't feel like they're not out there being pretentious about the quality films that they're making.
No.
But people like Sandler, so they go see him. I feel like he's got to be a Trump guy. I know he's been out as he was a big Rudy Giuliani guy, which is like crazier than being a Trump person right now.
Now it is.
I wonder if he'd stand by that. He loved America's mayor.
Yeah.
You think he owns a MAGA hat? How many of these people own MAGA hats in secret? You've got like your Diddy parties, and then the other secret parties like, bring your red hat.
Yeah, I've heard that there are, you could call them secret prayer meetings in Hollywood.
Yeah.
In the LA side.
It's like the old days where you draw half the fish.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. Like, I don't know if it would be that way now, but 10 years ago, people said, yeah, there's kind of like secret Christian meetings, and they don't try to be secretive about it, but it's just, if it gets out at that time, especially in Hollywood, that you were a born-again Christian and you were willing to be, pretty public with your faith and live your faith, not just, like, actually live it, that you would be, not shadow banned is probably the best word for it, because it wouldn't be outright banned.
Todd says, hard to beat the original Happy Gilmore. Todd, you're not listening to me. nothing's going to beat the original Happy Gilmore.
No.
But we're going to go visit an old friend.
Did you have the same poll of the room here? When Billy Madison came out, that movie blew my 13-year-old mind. I couldn't believe how funny that movie was.
I watched it with Charlie in the last year or so. He was 14, and it still hits.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So that movie was amazing. And then I watched Happy Gilmore, was at the screening and was like, oh my gosh, he did it again. It's so good. Then The Wedding Singer came out.
No, I love The Wedding Singer. Don't come at me or I'll fight you.
And
It's a rom-com. It's not for you. Not
clearly,
everything, Ryan, is for you.
Clearly, it was not for me.
Yeah, the Billy Madison.
Because everything after.
So hot.
Yeah.
Want to touch the
Yeah.
hiney. Oh,
I mean,
that's for you.
Yeah, that stuff was amazing. It was. I was
him with
13
his
years
little
old.
curly mullet thing, singing that little song to Drew Barrymore lovingly, while the guy who's in a lot of Shooter isn't he Shooter McGavin? Is he Shooter McGavin?
Christopher
He's the bad guy in Wedding Singer. That's right, isn't it?
No, the Wedding Singer bad guy is just some random dude. It's not Christopher McDonald.
I just love that Shooter McGavin is. I don't believe you. Figure that out, Brad.
Yeah, we'll look it up. It's okay.
But you've got White Wedding, Billy Idol.
Yeah,
you got Billy Idol on the airplane.
Oh, there's some moments. That's what it was a tease
at the end.
Yeah,
and it's romantic, and it's a great little song. Want to grow old with you? Magic, movie magic. Best thing he's ever done.
Bad guy is Glenn Gulia?
Yeah, Gulia.
Yeah.
And he's played by Matthew Glave.
Do they look alike, though?
Similar, yeah.
I mean, they look like
they
the
do
same
not.
vibe. Shut up.
They do not look alike.
Yes, they do.
They do not look anything
Yes,
alike.
they
They
look
have
like
the
twins.
same haircut in that movie.
And they're both jack butts.
Yes. Yeah. No, that movie, that's what was disappointing about it. If they just went in full on rom-com, I'd say, oh, okay, it's a different kind of movie. But there was still enough Sandler in it that
Well, it's
I'm like,
'cause he's Adam Sandler.
Oh,
What do you-
man,
no.
you're on the verge here of doing something again.
It would take away from the rom-com part of it. Also, watching Happy Gilmore with my son, he's been asking to watch that. We watched it in the last couple weeks. I had to explain who Bob Barker was.
Okay.
When he says the price is wrong,
Yep.
dude,
Mark.
and punched him. I had to, I'm like, this is iconic. This is this line, the price is wrong.
Yeah.
Son, when I was explaining it to him, it just took all of the fun out of the joke. If you don't know who Bob Barker is, and you don't know he knows what the Price is Right is, but he knows who Drew Carey is. To him, it would be iconic to have Drew Carey punching out Adam Sandler saying the price is wrong. That sucks.
I'm looking up. There was a show. Okay, it was called Undeclared. So when we were in college, you were probably, I was a junior, so you would have been
sixth grade.
Yeah, you would have been really young. This was in about 2000, 2001. Adam Sandler produced a television show called Undeclared, and it was about college, and it was fine. But Adam Sandler was in one of the episodes, and he walks in and
Is it a show or a reality?
It's a TV show, like a scripted comedy.
Not a reality show.
Yeah, it didn't last very long. It was okay.
Kind of remember that.
He walks into one of these episodes as Adam Sandler. So he's playing himself, and he's a celebrity, and the college kids in the show want to meet him because he's Adam Sandler. And all of them line up, and he had to be a part of this. All of them line up and ask him basically the same question. What was going through your mind with the genius of Billy Madison? And then why did you do all those other crappy movies?
But like Billy Madison is humorous to me, but in no way, shape, or form do I find it to be genius.
Well, that must be a question he got a lot, though.
Well, yeah, that
to
makes
write
sense.
it in.
But to your point, as a 13-year-old boy, it blew your mind.
Mm-hmm.
That was for you.
Mm-hmm.
The Wedding Singer, as Vicky points out on YouTube, 50 First Dates, those are for the ladies.
50 First Dates was a good movie, though.
It's a very good movie, also with Drew Barrymore, as most of them are. And Blended. Have you seen Blended?
No.
This is a movie that it pops up on TV all the time, and I love to sit and watch it. He is a widower with 3 daughters, and Drew Barrymore is recently divorced, and her ex-husband's a D-bag and just whatever. And I don't know how they come to know each other or whatever, but they end up on an African vacation, which is funny to me how all of Adam Sandler's movies are just vacations for him. They're in
He's
tropical.
not an idiot.
No, they're in tropical places. You go on an African safari. A lot of them take place in Hawaii. There was one that we just go with it. Was one that Jared and I watched on Netflix when we went on a weekend getaway. We just watched a bunch of Netflix, and we watched some. I don't know if it was scary or if it was just a war movie. It was just really depressing, and just go with it was like we're like, well, whatever. Just put that on next. And it was a classic Adam Sandler love story. You're just rooting for him the whole time to win, and he does at the end.
Just Go With It is with Jennifer Aniston
Yes.
and him. Okay.
And that's in Hawaii, which is the same place that he's dating Drew Barrymore in 50 First Dates, but she doesn't remember any of that. So what?
With Jennifer Aniston, he's come out with new movies, Murder Mystery and Murder Mystery 2.
Yeah.
And they're both basically vacation movies.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's like, where y'all want to go?
Yeah.
And then he takes his friends, they go on vacation, and they shoot a serviceable movie. What am I doing wrong with my life?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
It is amazing. Like I watched Murder Mystery when I was also like with my wife away from the kids for a weekend. We were just kind of hanging out. We had some time. I watched that movie and thought, well, that was a movie. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just fine. The Friends thing is very true of him. All of his buddies were making, some of them got their own movies. Like there was one called Mama's Boy that had, he wasn't in it. It was not very good.
Was it Mama's Boy or Grandma's Boy?
Or Grandma's Boy.
Oh, that movie was
You're like, what the heck is going on? Why are these existing? Well, because Adam Sandler put his stamp on it. They asked Norm Macdonald once, I think he put this in his book. They said, what is the secret to success in comedy? And he goes, well, become friends with Adam Sandler.
That's so true.
That's it.
And he did. I love it. And I think it's I just think Happy Gilmore, if you go in with the set expectations of that was a fun time. It's like a high school reunion.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Agreed.
You're not going to go back and be the superstar you were in high school or be the, beautiful prom queen or whatever it is. You're going to go back and remember good times.
And I feel like that's where Adam Sandler's career is. And everybody who grew up with Adam Sandler wants to just relive enjoying the early movie.
Isn't the hardest part of it, though, seeing those people not look like their 20-year-old selves and then realizing that you're adjacent to the time that has passed?
It is. He's doing okay. He still looks all right.
But
people
he
like
still
Jim
looks...
Carrey, you're like, whoa, man, you look older.
But isn't he like pushing 60?
I'm sure he is. He's doing fine, but he does not look like he did in Ace Ventura.
Correct. All right. That was a useless conversation, but I'm interested in all of it. I could talk about Adam Sandler forever.
Let's do another couple segments on
Billy Madison.
Billy. Just that film.
You can
Not the others.
break down the genius that is Billy Madison. Come vote in the YouTube channel live chat poll. What will come of the Gaetz ethics report released this week? Do you think it's going to be a bombshell or a Nothingburger? I would love to know what you think. You can leave a comment for us in the YouTube live chat poll. Once you subscribe, you got 5 minutes, and then you can comment away. Colonel says maybe something in between Bombshell and Nothingburger. That's almost its own poll question. Does it have to be one or the other? Can it be like, oh, well, that's something, but I guess it matters on how much people actually care. Russell said, I chose Nothingburger, not sure there will be anything shocking, or he would have already been charged. I would think perhaps Gaetz will come out with his own report soon on others' conduct. Maybe he's getting together with, what's-his-face from New York, who got bounced and has not an OnlyFans, a cameo.
George Santos.
Yes. That guy has stuck the landing in his lane. It's like he knows what it is and he's not ashamed of it, and he isn't a pariah by any means. People still care what he thinks. Go vote. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
STS-armory.com. STS-armory.com. On the website, you can find them 24 hours a day, of course. And if you were looking to see them in person, they are making the move to their new location. Go visit them on the website and make sure that you are all caught up with them. You can also give them a call directly. If you have something that you're looking for this holiday season specifically, make sure you give them a call and they will help guide you through the buying process. If you want to give them the heads up before you come in, make sure they have what you need or that you can get what you need. 618-931-GUNS. 618-931-GUNS. 618-931-4867. Talk to them about the classes that they provide as well. They've been filling up fast, and when you go get your basic training kind of class with STS Armor, you're going to become a very confident and, most importantly, responsible gun owner. If you're looking to get your conceal and carry license taken care of, you are going to the very best of the best. Sit and listen to Katie and Jesse as they train you for the very responsible and important ability to conceal and carry in the state of Illinois. You go to STS Armory, you're in the best of hands. Visit them online at sts-armory.com.
It's officially the merry season, and St. Louis's Christmas station, 102.5 KEZK, is your home for holiday music. Spinning the biggest and best festive tracks all day long, now through Christmas Day. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Get your holiday fix on the radio at 102.5 FM. Ask your smart speaker to play 102.5 KEZK or listen on the go with the free Odyssey app.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
What better way to support your nutrition than with the multivitamin that was created right here in St. Louis? Neovitin Original Multivitamin was created by St. Louis physician Dr. Ribicki to support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Now, Neovitin Original Multivitamin is formulated with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Ribicki's proprietary blend to give you nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Neovitin is now conveniently available through our no-obligation monthly subscription. Cancel or pause at any time, and shipping is free. Support your nutrition with a subscription to Neovitin at neovitin.com today.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Level up the comfort of your home this winter with either free attic insulation or an air scrubber. With a new HVAC system installation from Air Comfort Service. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
This is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Stream it on the Odyssey app. The easiest way to listen when you don't have a radio.
Your home for conservative talk.
The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
The snow's coming down. I'm watching it fall. Lots of people around. Baby, please come home. The church bells in town, all ringing in song, full of happy sounds. Baby, please come home. They're singing Deck the Hall, but it's not like Christmas at all.
I asked, what are some things your grandfather has taught you, or what about him inspires you? He's taught me never to give up, and if I have a dream, always try and achieve that dream and just never stop trying, because one day it will happen, and he's president of the United States again, so.
Kai Trump is, that's Don Jr.'s daughter, and she's got a very bright future ahead of her. I hope she gets rid of the vocal fry.
Yeah, me too. It's the only thing that I notice.
When you think about, like, to the point you didn't listen to what she had to say?
It's distracting.
Yes. When you think about, we talked about this earlier about, I think it was on the show that we were talking about things that are taught in school and things that aren't taught in school. I don't know if this was on the air. I've been helping my son with geometry, which I'm more like helping organize his preparation for it. His final was today. Hope it went well. But geometry proofs are a practice in logical thinking. It's in math, of course, but it's really a process of thinking and being able to piece apart a process of thinking. And that's a very important thing to learn. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't be taught, but I'm just thinking about a better way to put that into education. If you're talking about critical thinking, they don't teach critical thinking in high school. Are they too young to understand, to learn critical thinking? I feel like critical thinking, maybe when you're a junior or senior, would help you do better in school when you're a junior and senior. Maybe a freshman, they're just going to be like, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. No, there's real data about that. I only know this because I'm married to a teacher, as you are too. You probably hear the same stuff. That she says, though, my wife is an English teacher, as opposed to you guys as different subjects. She says that kids, when you teach them grammar, they learn it when they're younger. They're learning to basically memorize it.
Yeah, they don't understand it.
But they don't understand it yet.
Yeah.
And when they get to be about midway through high school is when they start to actually get why you're teaching them these things.
I vividly remember, when I was in 8th grade, we had a really good basketball team. I was on a really good basketball team. We went and played in the 3rd place game at state. We lost by 2 and finished 4th in the state. I still remember. But I remember memorizing all the plays. I remember memorizing, okay, I go here, and then I go there, and then I go here, and then I go there. I remember coming into my junior, senior years of basketball and all of a sudden understanding the concepts behind the things that were being told to us to do. Like, not the what do I do, but the why do I do it. And then when you understand the why you do it, then you understand much, much better the flow of things, and you don't have to think so hard because you get it.
Isn't that wild?
It's so wild. And I just remember being incredibly stressed, especially talking about finals. Kids are taking finals right now. I remember being so stressed and trying to cram and memorize and coming up with all these, is it mnemonic devices?
Mm-hmm.
I always say pneumatic.
Nomadic?
Pneumatic, which is the thing you use at the bank.
Air pumps.
The suction thing.
That's what those are called?
A pneumatic?
I didn't know that.
It's a device that functions off of air pressure.
I just called it the tube.
Yeah, it's a pneumatic tube.
Pneumatic tube.
It's not a mnemonic device, though.
Gotcha.
That's different.
Can I use a mnemonic device to remember that it's a pneumatic tube?
If it works for you, you can do whatever you want. That's kind of how a mnemonic device works.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. But I mean, like, you spend all of this time tricking your brain into remembering something that you can regurgitate on a test, but you don't even walk away and understand it. I am blown away by how much stuff I was taught in school, and I have no idea I don't know. I don't know. Like, where did all of those... Isn't there something biologically like your brain never really forgets anything? It's just your ability to recall.
It makes sense. I've never heard that before.
Yes. Yeah, the things that you've been educated in, they're in there, but your ability to go back and reach in deep for that file folder, not so much. Critical thinking is something that needs to be taught, and I would assume at a 16-year-old, probably, no offense, people, but 16 for girls, 17 for boys, maybe, that you could start teaching that, and it would help the education process for the other subjects that once you get to that age, you're kind of saying, okay, I'm kind of interested in science, or I never want to touch science again. I like to write, or whatever it might be. Another thing, going back to the Kai Trump clip, can we teach people, I think it's never been more important than now, can we teach people how to present themselves? It is not outrageous to me to think about social skills as a class in high school. The way you vocalize things, the way you sit in posture, the way you present yourself, the way you shake hands, the way you present yourself online, the way to take a flattering photograph where you present yourself for something that might be professional, because all these kids know how to take photographs and everything for themselves. Just, I don't know. Kids take the weirdest. Kids these days, now I'm sounding old. Kids these days don't understand that an unflattering photo is forever. They don't care. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I go back, 5-10 years, every single picture of me is with duck lips.
Still, though.
what you're talking about is almost like a glorified, like on steroids version of home ec.
It's different than that. Home ec is like that's like useful things. That's like being able to use like household tools and to be able to mend and fix and maybe bake and cook and stuff. I'm talking about social activity. Our kids don't know how to be appropriately social because they're not social because they're on their phones the whole time. They're being more social than we have ever been, but not person to person, not in a physical space where you're grunts about things. Like answering the phone, for the love. You have to say hello. Sorry, kids, I'm calling you out. But my son, like, I'm working on this with him. When I call him, he does it now, but he'll answer the phone and he'll wait for me to say hi. Like, he answers the phone and doesn't say anything. And I'm like, hello? And he's like, hi.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm like, when you pick up the phone, you say hello, and you do it pleasantly so that the person knows that you're happy to talk to him. When he would call people to ask for things, but they don't know. They don't do this stuff. They haven't been raised in a world like I sat on the phone with boys and girls all through junior high, high school, talking on the phone for hours because we didn't have the internet. So there's no way for him to know how to manage these things unless you actually teach him. Okay, should that be taught at home? Yeah, probably, but it's not being. And if you are going into the world, if you're going into college, if you're going into college interviews, shouldn't you be able to sit in front of a human being still, sit still, make eye contact, listen to questions, and then give an answer that doesn't sound like this the whole time you're talking because it's distracting?
You know, if I were to teach a social skills class, I think you could make a strong case that